Welcome to all those in the present and in the future. Winter has came this season. Winter has brought on some excitement and also some disappointments, depending on who you ask. And we're here to talk about season 8, episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4 of Game of Thrones, as well as look forward to episode 5, which will be premiering in 51 minutes at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And joining me today is a co-founding father of the Moist Cast. It is the superfan, the man with a lot of wiener dogs, Adam Shaw.
Well, thanks for allowing me to take part in this Master Moist. Always an honor, a privilege to hang out and shoot the shit with you, especially about Game of Thrones.
And let's just hop right into it. We didn't really hang out a whole lot off air. Might as well just dive right in because I know we've texted off and on throughout the season talking about some of the things that have gone on. And just overall, what's your perception of season 8 so far?
Well, I think we talked a while back. You know, seasons 1 and 2, like we said, part 1, part 2 could have been one episode. Episode 3 and 4, I feel all 4 episodes could have been a good episode and a half. The death of the Night King to be done in one episode just was a complete letdown. I mean, I get it. We only get 6 episodes, but it just seems like shoddy writing. You know, we get a Starbucks cup where we never would have. You know, when the series took off, they rewrote and reshot the pilot to make sure it was, you know, exactly what they wanted. Here at the end, it's almost like, hey, let's just rush through, get it done, because, you know, we've already got paid. We've got bigger things to do now, and we don't care.
What would be awesome is, like, for the Blu-ray release of this season is if they include the unedited episode.
Oh, yeah.
That would be an awesome feature because Game of Thrones is one of the few shows that I want to have physical copy. Should anything happen where the internet would go down or whatever, services, there are a few shows that I have deemed that I will buy on Blu-ray and spend the money for, and that Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad and the first 4 seasons of The Walking Dead are my go-tos.
I concur because I own all of them on Blu-ray, so awesome.
Yeah. But I think I am. I have been on a roller coaster of emotions throughout the season, not but based off the show itself, but just not what's going on in the show, but how the show is made, essentially. And normally I'm a roller coaster of emotions because of the characters, what's going on. I'm a roller coaster of emotions because I just don't know. I'm like, one, the show has never shown you where it's going. I feel like right now it's just projecting so hard where it's going to go. There's going to be a Dany and Jon betrayal between one of, and something's going to pit both of them against each other, you know. And this is arguably a matchup people have been waiting for, you know, throughout the entirety of the show. For some people that are so far into it, I'm like, what? I'm so confused, to be honest. And right now I'm rewatching live the episode 4, the last. And right now, the only scene that I have been on the edge of my seat for this entire season was Bronn talking to Tyrion and Jaime. Whenever he's holding them basically at crossbow point or gun point. And I'm like, holy shit, kill one of these guys. That is the only time this season. This is the last season. And this is a show that any time can put you on the edge of your, be it seasons 1 through 6.5, 7. You know, it's like, I feel like it's almost, it hasn't lost its magic, but it's so rushed. And I don't, you know, and we can find a bunch of people to blame that on, but what really irks me is the fact that we're getting all these responses from HBO. You know, it's reminiscent to Rian Johnson with The Last Jedi coming back and saying why this and why that, and responding to complaints. At least HBO is doing it very professionally. They usually just give one tweet. That's it. They don't subtweet. They just give one tweet explaining things. But the fact that you had the producers of the show or whatever saying, "Oh, you couldn't see the Battle of Winterfell. Well, your TV resolution must suck." Well, no, I watched it. No, I watched it in the dark. I have a smart TV. It's like the highest definition. Couldn't see shit. It's like I respect all the work they've put in, and I respect the 51 nights of shooting. I just wish we could have seen it more.
Yeah.
I feel
Like I
I'm gonna
said,
get
for
more
me,
of the special
it'd be like
features.
being there. I get it. But when you can't see shit, and especially when you already have, vision impairments as I do, like we
Yeah,
talked, and I'm like, dude, I couldn't see anything. You're like, dude, I don't feel bad. I couldn't see anything either, even with the contrast up. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in a pitch black office. There's no light. And even with the Mac, I'm sitting there watching it and I'm just like, man, I might as well just go walk outside. I can see better than I can in the woods. I can see better out there than I could this. And yeah, I'd love to have seen the 51 nights of actual shooting, but what we got didn't feel like 51 nights. It felt like, all right, half hour, okay, done.
yeah, and I honestly think that we're going to see more of the battle in the special features of like the Blu-ray release.
It just reminds me a lot of Jedi.
I'm so looking forward to the Blu-ray just for the special features, to see, just to see this battle of Winterfell. But another thing. So you mentioned the coffee cup, and I guess we can go into it now. This season, all right. Before we go into some criticisms here of the season, let's go into one thing that I think has been absolutely on point, and that will rank up there in the top 10 of all time. Is this season's soundtrack?
Soundtrack's good, definitely.
I have freaking Ramon Dawali. I'm trying to think how to say his name. He has been on point with the music. It's similar to a George Lucas. People can shit on the prequels all they want to, but there's one thing that they can't, and that is John Williams' score of especially the first three Star Wars movies, or episodes 1, 2, and 3. And you can literally watch those movies just with the score, no talking. Actually, it might be a little better if you do that, and just watch it with the score, and you'll get the same, potentially even more emotional feeling. And I feel like, especially in the emotional or like the dramatic scenes of the season so far, the composing has been awesome. Jenny of Oldstone's, that song Podrick sang, was incredible. And just that montage at the end of the Battle of Winterfell, where you have the piano music playing, was just beautiful. And that's honestly right now my most memorable moment of this season is probably that music montage at the end of episode 3 during the Battle of Winterfell, when you have the Night King just slowly strolling up. As much as I was pissed that was his only real big moment, that was so badass. Him and the White Walkers just strolling up, and you have the music, slow motion, all that. I'm like, that is just incredible. Like it was shot beautifully, but it's almost like they focus so much on getting the perfect shots at the expense of the story itself.
Yeah, the music's been great. The only thing, and I talked with you alone on this, I really hope that he finishes the books and he learns from where this goes wrong to make it right. That's
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can say, is because he can see where this leads to. When we talked about Walking Dead, he sat there and said, I really wanted to do this differently. So he did it differently in the series and he was happy. Yep. For me, that's the hope I have, because, I was waiting on him to finish all the books before I even attempted to start reading them. I know you've read them, and, you've kind of talked with me a little bit what's happened. So to me, this would be a good way to test the waters on, well, if this is what I kind of thought, these guys took my idea and went a little bit different than what I was going to do, and everybody fucking hated it. Maybe I should stick to my original plan and maybe go a little bit more to the right or the left of what these guys did to make it maybe a little better. Of course, we still got 2 episodes. We'll see what happens. Maybe it'll get better. It's hard
to. I mean, tonight's supposed to be the penultimate episode, I guess.
So, we'll see. I feel gypped a little bit because we got ripped off when it came to the other seasons. It's like, boom, 7's here. All right. 8 took forever to get here. We get it. Boom. Or 7 rather than 8, or where we are now. And it's like, you mean to tell me this is the best you could come up with? Because, my dogs could write better if they wrote, in English. So we could understand it.
The cat, Daenerys Targaryen, sitting over there cleaning herself right now. I think she could do as well.
Yeah. So, that's the only problem when you start doing things like this, where people take a script and then they just put their input only in what their version of said movie is. Hence, one of the disgustingest movies ever, when they redid Fantastic Four or Ocean's 8, Ghostbusters 3, prime examples. The first 4 seasons were spot on. Actually 4 and 5, I think we all agreed 4, 5, and 6 kind of all ran together, but it still had character building, up into 6. We waited forever for 7, and then we get 8, and it's just like, man, come on. This is what we get. We're 4 episodes down. We got 2 left, and really it's kind of a what the fuck moment, but
and like, just to say, like, 2 episodes left. Like, I've listened to I can't tell you how many Game of Thrones podcasts I have listened to over the past, just different, like, ones that are like book based, ones that are show based, ones that are both. And these, especially this one, it's called Bend the Knee. Yeah, it's pretty good. These 2 guys, they actually call each other sir, and then their house name, which is actually pretty funny. So I'm like, these guys are hardcore, and they actually started it back with the books, and then they did it with the show as well. And like, these guys are hardcore fans, and they're both just like, we're underwhelmed. Like, we want to give the show a shot. And they kept saying, like, oh, maybe this will happen. Maybe this will happen. But like, something they didn't say, that I was just sitting in my car listening to it on the way home from work. I'm like, but there's 2 episodes left. We can't be having all of these questions saying, oh, what if this happens? Well, this can still happen. This can still happen. Yeah, we have 160 minutes of Game of Thrones left. There is no way all of what we would like to see. It's not going to be a Breaking Bad ending where you have it all nicely brought together with Walter White's death or Heisenberg's death, and he closes out everything with the other characters throughout the season. Jesse gets away at the end. We don't know what Jesse goes up to, which is okay. That's fine. But we know Jesse was free, so he could start a new life away from, oh my, I'm at the ghost scene right now, which is heartbreaking.
Oh, Jesus.
But,
yeah. That's all I got to say about that. Jesse went to get some tacos, man.
Jesse's going to look for those Hermanos. He's going to start up his own franchise, and Gus Fring's dead. But
yeah, it's just sad because we've waited this long. We had speculations after we watched, just us as fans, hey, it'd be really cool if the Night King's in King's Landing and this is what's happening. We found out real quick that's not what happened.
Yeah. And the thing is too, like, we were making those assumptions knowing that they're probably going to be wrong, but wrong in a good way.
Yeah. It was just a shot in the dark. Hey, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think? Here's what I think is going to happen. What do you think is going to happen? You, me, Jeff the Dire Wolf / Iron Wolf. We were all having a good time. And then with what we've got so far, it's just kind of it's actually kind of a letdown after such a strong season, or the past seasons have been so strong, and then they all came together to make sense, where this is like we've entered, bizarro land where
when
down
they
is
went
up.
north of the wall, it started. It was but one thing that I will say, well, two praises. The acting in this season, I believe, has been fantastic. Grey Worm's reaction to Missandei, Jacob Anderson, his that was incredible. Tyrion, Peter Dinklage has been on point. Emilia Clarke, especially, I think she's really stepped it up with some of her just subtle reactions, things like that. And Sophie Turner and Maisie Williams. I honestly have nothing to complain about when it comes to the actual, like, when it comes to what we've seen on screen minus the story. What I'm looking at and how the characters are being played, no complaints whatsoever. I think the highlight of this season, aside from what I said the score, something that I always remember will be Tormund Giantsbane. Tormund Giantsbane is, to me, the MVP of this season. He has been hilarious. He has I honestly, I think we won't see him ever again. I think that was his goodbye last season or last episode. Whenever you see, I'm going to see Samwell and Gilly either. I think that's their curtain call whenever we see John and Davos in Winterfell and you see Giant Tormund, Ghost, Gilly, and Sam standing there and their goodbyes, except for Ghost. I think that was the end for them. And how badass is it Tormund was able to retire at the end of the Game of Thrones? And he also got to ask who put that shit in his pants.
Yeah.
Like, see, like I just like Tormund is like he's John Belushi, and that's what he is. Well, I just watched the Dragon Guild.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. They treat Ghost like shit. We kill the dragon. At the end, we get Missandei beheaded, which it was all awesome, but we could have done that like 45 fucking minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I feel. I feel ripped off. I mean, you know, we were kind of excited to see everybody get together in episode 1 and 2. Okay, great. As we said, from day one, we could have had that as one friggin' episode. Yeah, I feel, you know, if that was one episode that gives you 2 episodes for the war with the Night King, could have had, you know, I think the way everything played out was good, what I could see, anyhow.
Yeah.
But once again, then after this last episode, I swear you could have just done all of this in a 2-hour episode and then still had 5 more episodes to go. You know, or even if we had at least 4, but I mean, we're down at 2, so it's kind of hard to be excited. But
yeah, I just wish we had like 8 episodes even. Like,
I mean, I like the original 10.
Yeah,
you know,
that would
just give us the 10, give us the normal 50, you know, 52 minutes or 53 minutes, and that's fine.
Maybe the last one will be like an hour and a half, you know.
Yeah.
Here's what you do. You cut down, you know, cut down a couple of the beginning episodes or whatever, make them 40 minutes or whatever, and then add that on in the last couple episodes. It's like, that's perfect. That's all we need. We don't need.
So we'll see what kind of cliffhanger they give us, or, you know, that I guess that's kind of going to be what it is. I mean, the cast already knows what happened, so, you know, they're not saying anything.
Well, have you seen some of their reactions?
Well, I've not.
All right, so I know Jeremy's been making a lot of Game of Thrones videos up over on Geeks and Gamers, which I never realized he was a big fan of the show. Never really talked about it. I kind of wished he would have talked about it because I'd like to hear his takes on the other seasons. But he shared a thing, and then I had seen it actually before he shared it. Oh, hey Jeff, how's it going? Rookie Critic, I believe, is here. Or no, Jeff W. He has not seen Game of Thrones. Someone should make a fan out of the series. Yeah, that would actually be pretty epic. I'm with the internet. I guarantee that there's somebody will. But yeah, thanks for joining us, Jeff. But what? Yep, Rookie. Yeah, I was gonna say usually see Rookie Critic here, but Jeff W. here.
Mm-hmm.
But no, what I'm trying to say, I just lost my train of thought here. There was a guy that found these 2 interviews, like Entertainment Weekly or something like that, and then there was a morning show that Kit Harington did, and the Entertainment Weekly was with Amelia Clark. You know, it might not have been Entertainment Weekly, it was like a red carpet premiere thing. And for Amelia Clark, it was her, Nathalie Emmanuel, who plays Missandei, and then Jacob Anderson, Grey Worm. And the girl was just the interviewer was just fangirling like crazy. She's like, oh my gosh. She's like, season 8 is going to be the best season ever, right? Like, greatest thing ever, biggest thing. Amelia Clark just kind of is like, yeah, it's the greatest season, best season ever. And like, she just like looks so cringe. Like, it is such a cringe interaction where she's just like, yeah, it's going to be incredible. And then in the Kit Harington interview, he's on a morning show, and the hostess, she asks, what are your impressions on season 8? Like, if you had to describe it in one word, what would you say? The first thing he says is disappointing. And then he's like, oh, no. He's like, epic, absolutely epic, blah, blah, all this stuff.
Epically disappointed.
But then I'm just like, wait a second. So, and like comparing both of those reactions, I'm like, I don't know. Like, maybe they even know. And it's like what I said. I feel like the acting and everything in this has been on point. And I feel like it's kind of like it's like I felt bad for Hayden Christensen. Like I feel bad for Hayden Christensen in hindsight. He wasn't given a good script to work with, and we don't know what his acting coaches were like. They might be like, "Oh, just constantly try to look pissed. No, don't show much emotion. Just be mad."
Here, just eat a bunch of cheese and be plopped up, and you'll have the role perfectly.
Exactly. It's like, and with this, I mean, I feel like you can see if you look at the actors and actresses' faces and everything, they're putting their all into this. But it's just like they're not being given the script to work with. But but we can look back at seasons 1 through 4, like you've said previously, and we can just see that basically it's just balls to the wall. Not only are the actors and actresses killing it, but what they're saying, everything, it makes sense, and everything has a purpose. The smallest little line matters, and the lore matters. Now, like Nisa, Azor Ahai, all these different theories, which what made this show even better. All of us, we could dig in and being like, oh my gosh, like who's Azor Ahai? Like, is this actually real? Is Nisa going to be a big thing? No, it's not. And just like with what the Night King, we don't know like what the hell was the Night King up to. And if we get it in hindsight, I'm gonna be pissed. I'll be like, just like when he died, I'm just gonna say, what Kylo Ren said in The Last Jedi: let the past die. Just let the Night King dead. Don't even go there. Let's rubbing salt in the wound if you bring it back up.
Yep.
Ugh.
I mean, it was fun. All of us, sitting on here chit-chatting with different ideas and things that we thought might happen. And, you do your death counts. I mean, it's been a blast. But once again, it basically, I want my FU moment to come at this point, which is the last episode. We get through whatever was going to happen. And the last episode is Jamie kicking Braun off the tower again, and he's fallen. And, this has all just been a dream of him from the fall. At this point, I'd be happy with that ending.
Yeah.
And it takes us back to season 1, and it's like, well, we don't want to go that routine because this is what happens. We lose, or this person wins.
We go back to season 1, episode 9, where Sean Bean's about to get his head cut off, and then it just is like, oh, we're like, hey, he's alive, boom, dead.
Yep. And it's just one of those. Like I said, we'll see. It just seems to be this is what happens anymore with Hollywood and entertainment, even though the show has been phenomenal, through the last 7 seasons, even with the slow parts that we had, and 4, 5, and 6, it still built the characters up. It all had a purpose, but now that we're in the finale, none of the purposes seem to matter. The wolves don't matter, so the crest of your house means nothing. It's nothing more than just a stray dog. Are you fucking kidding me? Please. All of Aya's training with the faceless men, and she just screams and kills the Night King. Okay, I mean, which I'm happy that John didn't get the kill and he was pinned down by a dead dragon, but still, all right, well, we'll see what happens. It'd been more funny if she was dressed up as Braun, even though she, or Bran rather, or Braun take the shot and kill him, or Bran even take the shot and kill him. But no, it was Arya. It'd been great if she was in the chair. Of course, then she would have had to deface her brother, which we don't want. But it would have still been a little bit better than what we got. It was really disappointing to see, and or not really see, that whole episode, and then boom, he's dead. For the longest time, we didn't even think he was there. We thought he was off somewhere else, which would have been epic in its own right. The ideas that you came up with at the water cooler and whatnot, and then the rest of us, putting our opinions on it. And then when I saw what happened, I was like, well, we're not getting that. And then when he died, I was like, well, we're not getting that either. He's not going to be in next week's episode, screwing up Cersei for Jamie for the kill. I still agree with you. I'd love to see Jamie hurt and Cersei hurt and Jamie finally kill his sister as he dies, kind of a Romeo and Juliet style.
Yeah, I mean, then the thing is, like, what we just said right there, like, what exactly, like, what you'd like to see. It's like, I've stopped even thinking that. Like, I don't even know what I want to see anymore.
Yeah.
It's all I want is a good ending, and I just all I want is just I don't want a neatly packaged bow ending like Breaking Bad gave us. I just want an ending that just makes sense.
Yeah.
And right now, Bran is the favorite to win the Iron Throne on betting odds. What?
Wait a minute. Time out.
Yes, Vegas betting odds. Bran is like plus 200.
Who's lowest?
Yes, that is the lowest. And then it's like Bran, Tyrion, Jon. It's like Bran, Tyrion, Jon. Oh shit. Cersei's plus 3,000. Danny's plus 900. Jon's plus 700. But yeah, no, it's Sansa. So it's like Bran, Tyrion, Sansa, Jon, Gendry, Danny, like Cersei, and it just goes down the line.
Oh wow.
But Bran is the favorite, and that makes me scared because I'm just like somebody setting them odds might have insider info.
Yeah, the three-eyed raven who says I am no longer a Stark. I live in the past.
Which would probably be a good king to have, because he could be like, oh, well, and he does have like very, very limited like future vision.
Yeah.
Very limited. But it wouldn't be a bad idea. But we look at it, let's look at it with the books. In the books, Bran can only see into the past or or slightly into the future via the weirwood trees. And it's made mention in the books that like south of the Riverlands, there are no weirwood trees. The Targaryens, everybody made sure to destroy them. So Bran is useless, basically, beyond the north of the Riverlands. So I'm thinking in the books, that makes no sense. Why would he, why would he want to be, why would he be a useful king? And yeah, Jeff, I would encourage you, when you do get the chance, as much as we're complaining about the last season of Game of Thrones, check out Game of Thrones at some point when you get the chance. I know you have a lot of stuff to watch and review, but I think you would enjoy it. And yeah, guys, anybody listening in the future or now, I dropped the Rookie Critics link in the chat. Jeff W. Make sure to check out his channel. I think he's on the road to 1,000 subs, and I just checked his channel as well. And apparently, I got unsubscribed from it somehow. So I will resubscribe, and I'm 727. So
uncool YouTube.
Yeah, not cool. Dislike YouTube. But Jeff, I am back resubscribed to the Rookie Critic. Make sure you guys check him out. Jon Snow, my cat. Unfortunately, he passed away. He makes a surprise appearance in one of the Rookie Critics skit videos that he is making, and he has a skit trilogy on the way, as he just mentioned. So make sure you guys check that out. But anyway, yeah, I think the Rookie Critic would like Game of Thrones. I think he would echo a lot of the same complaints that we have as well. But overall, I mean, Game of Thrones has been, I got into it whenever it was the end of season 4, but I got into it like right when Blu-ray of season 4 came out. I bought it, and then I binged watched seasons 1 through 4. And then like 5 through 8, I've been watching live, which has been like the past 4 or 5 years. Overall, I'm not going to let a bad ending destroy it for me. I'd be like this. I've loved this. This is incredible. Like this has been what we've seen in social media and just global social media, to be honest, has been incredible to see so many people. And what's been nice for me has been Game of Thrones, minus a few articles and minus a few people complaining. This has been such a nice escape from politics and all that shit. It's been so nice. And the thing is, you look at the interactions on Twitter or whatnot, people are just happy. They're just like, oh, we can complain about something else, or like, we can all cry together. We can all laugh together. We can all want people to give Jon, we can all get Jon to want to give Ghost a boop, a little pet.
Yeah.
Things like
No,
that.
it's so been great.
Good escapism.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when the Sand Snakes came in, I thought, oh man, here we go. Here we go. We know where this is leaving, or leading. And I was completely wrong, picked up by your throat and, brutally murdered. You think, oh, this is going to go this way. When Braun's going to say, you're the loveliest woman in Dorne, and then turn around and look what actually happens. It's Cersei with the last laugh, it's like, oh, shit.
That makes Cersei such a good character. Well, and I'm watching the Face Off right now because we are winding down here. We're getting, we're about 20 minutes out from the new episode here, which is exciting. And the thing is, as much as we've just spent complaining about and like picking it apart, I'm still excited for the new episode.
Like, I am too, because I want to see what they're going to do. As of it being, I don't hate the series. It's still one of my go-tos. I mean,
for me, it will probably be. It's going to be one of my top all-time TV shows.
I mean, I've got my few. Yeah, Rescue Me has always been good. Sopranos, love that fucking series. Breaking Bad. I was disappointed in Black Sails how it ended, but I still love the series. I'll still sit back.
I feel like that could be a similar case here.
Yep. So I mean, this season's not going to make me hate the entire series, and I'm still excited, mainly because of you shit, telling me about the, they're going to do the prequels and all that stuff. And when we sat down and talked about it, I did some research. It made me pretty excited, even if this lacks. If this is the shittiest season that we get, and they completely botch it, I'm still going to check out the other stuff that's coming that I'm hoping stays true, Yeah,
and one thing I hope, because I think the first prequel that we are getting, and it has been confirmed, it's the First Men, and that basically leads to the Long Night and everything. So what sucks is we're going to get a Night King origin story. Again, I mean, we do have a little bit one that he was created by the Children of the Forest and all that. But I swear, if they rely on that prequel series to tell the story of the Night King, I will be so pissed.
Yeah, because you and I talked about that.
You're going to have half of the audience that watched Game of Thrones watch that.
Yeah.
And normally I would say for a spin-off series like that, you might have 25% of the original audience. But for this, for a show of this scale, I'm going to say at least 50%. Like, I feel like the premiere might have like 7-8 million people watching it for that.
I think a lot of it will depend on what happens tonight and next Sunday.
Exactly. It depends a lot on that. And it also, but the thing is also, I don't think it might not also depend on that because of just how much people have wanted. Like, this is a story that people really identify with a lot of these characters. And like, that's why it's so heartbreaking when these people die in the show. And the Night King is a character that everybody kind of not identified with, but was just like, we need to know their story. But here's the thing also, and this is where the showrunners and the writers might be in the right. Maybe the Night King literally just wanted to kill everybody. Maybe that's it. But the thing is, we just need an explanation. Yes, Bran gave us, he's like, oh, he just wants to bring darkness. He wants to erase history, basically killing Bran and destroy the history. Basically make sure that it's like humans never existed. Well, the Night King was a human. Like, is there anything beyond that? And
think about Benji. Uncle Benji. Uncle Benji had the same thing done to him, and he was trying to help Jon. So there's a little conflict there. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those. Do we touch on that, or as the writers, maybe they kind of left it vague. And I'm hoping that's the case for what we're going to get after this ends.
Mm-hmm. That's what I hope too. And I mean, I'm watching Tyrion right now is walking up to the gates of King's Landing. I like Tyrion's speech was incredible.
You're not a monster. You love your children. Yes, it was good.
Like Tyrion has been on point this season, I think.
I don't see that going through the way it went, though. And in real life, I see arrows flying and a dead Tyrion with a dead queen.
No, and the thing is, it kind of harks back on Cersei's character. Seasons 1 through 7, or 1 through 6, Cersei would have just let the arrows fly.
Yep.
And people are like, oh, it's just because it's Tyrion, blah, blah. Yeah, Cersei is extremely loyal to her family. I understand that. But we know Cersei. Cersei,
who pinched her brother's pecker as a baby because he killed her mother and made him scream. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Cersei is savage. Like, But so I guess since we are about 15 minutes out here, do you have any predictions for this episode?
Hopefully it doesn't suck. Hopefully there's good lighting so I can actually see.
I do believe, from based off of the previews, I think that we will have good lighting and fighting in the daytime.
Yeah, I really don't know. I'm just ready so we can see it, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it doesn't completely suck, because as much as I love the show so far, not impressed with what I've seen, especially with Ghost being kind of wrote off as, oh, hey, go fuck yourself.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about that. Yeah. So what do you think? Did you hear about what the response was?
I know there's a lot of anger at it.
Yeah. So basically, the producers or whatever said that it wasn't CGI, it wasn't possible, or it wasn't the budget to do. But then people are like bringing up the season 7, where you have DB Weiss saying, oh, we wanted a zombie polar bear, and we were going to get that zombie polar bear as much as it cost. We didn't care.
Yeah, so, well, you could have cut some of your 53 nights worth of shooting as well.
It's like, yeah, it's like, so you couldn't, even John just going up and give a little boop, little like pet, and just be like, he doesn't have to like hold him or hug him or whatever, but just walk up to him. Even if he didn't pet him, if he just walks up and sits in front of him and was just like, thank you. It's like, thanks for everything you've done.
The wolf that saved his life numerous times.
Here's what I tweeted out, that I believe that this is what would have been my favorite kind of ending here for Ghost story there. I wish that John would have been walking up to Ghost. I wish it would have been a more dramatic thing. John walks up to Ghost. The Stark theme is playing. John pets Ghost and is like telling him, thank you for everything that you've done. He's like having a real moment with him, and John gets really emotional. And then as he's saying goodbye, it turns into the Targaryen theme. And he walks away. So it's a symbol of him giving up his Stark lineage, or his identity as a Stark, and identifying himself as Aegon Targaryen. That would have been emotionally moving. I would have probably cried. Be like, holy shit, there's John he's Aegon. He's the rightful heir. Let's go. And, for him to give up his direwolf is basically saying, we have a connection, but my real name and my real connection is with the Targaryens.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that'd have been better than what we got, which is basically him looking and then talking shit and then leaving.
I mean, they had a moment where they stared at each other and like Ghost like kind of like whimpered and like put his head down, and like John looked at Ghost. But it was like, John, you're a good boy. I believe in your heart you're a good boy. And when you have a good boy, as in Ghost, you need to give that direwolf a little boop. Just a little boop. That's all we need. Even just a boop, Or just like I said, just you walk up to him, sit in front of him, and basically like, we've all had conversations with our pets. You're like, they don't understand, but you talk to them like they understand. And then who knows, sometimes they'll give you a little kiss or they want a little more pet or whatever. It's like, oh, maybe they did understand. It's like, oh, to have that kind of a relationship shown. And Ghost was introduced in episode 1. He's an OT cast member.
Yep.
So, oh man, there is, if you see on social media a place that you can press like to pet Ghost, please do, people, because Ghost deserves it. He gave an ear for John. But there is a sequel series that I think we can all root for, and that is Torment and Ghost in the North.
Yes.
Oh my God. That is one thing that this season has given us, and it is a breadth of memes that have been incredible. And the Tormund and Ghost in the North, there has been so many different memes. Somebody took the poster, I think, from 10,000 BC and like put Ghost and Tormund in it, and it was just like called the North.
North.
I'm like, this is the show that we want now. Like I said, Tormund has been my MVP of the season. Just things that I'm going to remember. Tormund has the greatest one-liners.
Oh man,
celebrating his
I killed him. I cut off his head and I drank from his woman thought I was a baby, so she fed me her titty milk. I drank giant titty milk. That's why I'm so big.
Well, fun thing, the actor that plays him, that plays Tormund, shared an Instagram post today where he's holding a carton and it says Giant's milk. So I think he even knows. And who put this shit in my pants was an all-time line.
Yeah, who put this shit in my pants?
How heartbroken he is with Brienne, and he's talking to Clegane.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking to the Hound about it.
Talking to the Hound, he's just like, get the fuck away from me.
And then John is like, well, celebrating isn't throwing up. And he's like, well yes, it is.
It is. That's your T-shirt. Celebrating isn't throwing up. Yes, it is.
I mean, and that's the good thing about the season. As much as we've had, criticisms and whatnot, we can still look back and have good memories and good laughs. Intense parts, like the Braun, Jamie, and Tyrion. That was pretty intense.
Oh, Jamie and Tyrion together at Winterfell. Yeah. We're going to die in the North with people that hate us.
Exactly. Like, we've had a lot of moments. I think that in hindsight we'll look back and be like, oh yeah, we did have a lot of moments or whatever. But it wasn't.
As a fan, I felt cheaped. I just felt they cheaped out on us to just hurry up and get it over with. Still enjoy the series. Can't wait to read the books. But yeah, that's just it. You just kind of feel, like a used rubber. It's like, hey, come on now. It's, you're just spitting on us and this is what we're getting. But we'll see what happens tonight. I don't want to see more fucking dragons. Something Doomcock had mentioned, that
was actually one of my theories.
Yeah, more dragon. I don't want to see that shit. I want to see a war right now because we're not going to see the dragons burn fucking everything to the ground because we've only got one dragon. So, that's kind of disheartening. Before when we saw the vision, we saw what we thought was snow on the Iron Throne and everything burning. So maybe it was ash.
Yeah.
Now we've just got one dragon and shit. Those new dragon killer bows. Game over, man. Game over.
Exactly. And I think that's a good thing to end on right there. But as the previews leading up to the episode premiere are going on, might I suggest to you HBO folks out there, Chernobyl, a 5-part miniseries on the 1986 nuclear disaster at Chernobyl.
Excellent.
I highly suggest it. It is incredible.
I'd been waiting on that to pop up and start playing, and then, it didn't start till this month. And I sat down the other day and watched the first episode. Now I'm ready for the rest, man. I hate it when you got to wait week to week, but so far, episode 1, very fun, very good, very educational. And
can we say perfect marketing by HBO? To get those that subscribe for that 1 free month to just stick around for one more.
Hey, I only got a free week. I got a free week, but that was okay. I didn't give a shit because I already knew I was going to keep it for at least a couple months. The few people that I hooked up with it so they can actually watch stuff. That way they've got some, I don't mind paying it and sharing it with a couple people so that they can check out some stuff. And, I'll keep it 2-3 months just to get through Chernobyl, let alone see what else we got coming up.
Yeah, exactly. So
the Predator movie's on there, so I'm getting ready to watch that because I still haven't seen that. So
I haven't seen that either. So all right, folks. So we're gonna close this out here. We got 7 minutes until the premiere of episode 5, Game of Thrones. Let's hope that it will blow our minds, as people have said as the cast have said, that it's the biggest episode in Game of Thrones. Will we see King's Landing burn? Will we see any major characters die? Real quick death prediction. Death prediction for me, major character, I will say Varys. And Jamie. Varys and Jamie.
I have to agree. Barris, the spider, he should be gone. He should be getting killed.
Sure we'll let Danny know about his wanting to betray her.
Yep, I kind of think Grey Worm might finally bite the dust too, because now he's not feeling he's going to live for it.
I hope he has a badass episode though.
I do too, but I kind of feel like he's going to kind of go down. And I still want to stick with our crackpot theory that we had with no matter what, Jamie gets the killing blow on Cersei and they die together.
Oh, it'd be incredible. So, and with that, folks, we're going to close us out here so you can get your popcorn ready and sit back for Game of Thrones episode 5 of the final season. Thanks for tuning in, folks.